Actually, what the law minister is saying is that the current system of appointment takes away from precious time that the judges should utilize for justice delivery. So what is this collegium system that is currently in place? Why is the law minister of the view that this is problematic? Let's just break that down for you. The collegium system in place currently means appointment and transfer of judges of Supreme Court and High Court judges happen through the system. What is actually the collegium? Collegium is a group of 5 top judges of the country. In the Supreme Court, it will be the Chief Justice of India and then the top 4 judges who succeed him. That group of 5 will select who the next candidate for judicial appointment should be. As far as the High Court is concerned, it is led by the Chief Justice of the High Court and the 2 senior most judges there. So this is the collegium that we are talking about for the Supreme Court and for the High Court. Government is given names. The collegium recommends names from the Supreme Court and the High Court collegium, and then the government has the option to express its reservation. But as far as the power to veto is concerned, that rests with the collegium. The government can express its reservation. If the collegium sends the name a second time, the government cannot overrule that. So that is where the problem seems to be. The system is not rooted in the constitution. How it came about is after a 3-case judgment was given by the Supreme Court of India. In these 3 cases, this collegium system was evolved. There is no specific law as of now which is promulgated by Parliament. There was, of course, the NJAC Act, which was struck down as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Like I told you, the 3 judgments of the Supreme Court finally led to the collegium system. So that is the sum total. Now, my colleague Ananya Bhardwaj caught up with Salman Khurshid, former law minister, to try and understand if across the spectrum, the executive has reservation about this process of judges appointing judges. Listen into what Salman Khurshid had to say.
The Union Law Minister has called out the collegium system to be opaque and has said that NJAC was a much better option when it comes to judicial appointments. I have with me former Law Minister Mr. Salman Khurshid Sahab. Sir, how do you see this statement from the Law Minister coming in?
Well, his preference is for a commission. NJAC is his preference. That preference was also of many of my colleagues, and we are the ones who initiated it. But it's not as simple as he makes it sound. It's a very complicated affair to bring in outsiders who have been brought in, say, in the UK and so on and so forth. Can add some value, but it can also cause some problem. The judges do it themselves. There have been many people who believe when the judges do it themselves, there are some issues. And one of the issues was about transparency. Much of that transparency has been taken care of. Reasons are given, things have put on the websites and so on. So I don't think this is something that you can resolve by giving statements. This is something where you have to use your head, think seriously, talk to judges who have now retired and who have vast experience of how the collegium works, and then see whether you can come up with a better solution. I think that this is not a matter for sparring, this is a matter for thinking.
Sir, here, when we talk of transparency, the Law Minister termed the whole collegium system to be very opaque. How do you see that?
Well, there's a difference in something that is opaque and something you don't like. Now, it's not opaque. We all know what is happening. A lot of that information is given out. There is an issue of, if you give excessive information, does that impact and affect the reputation of the judge concerned? So there are many, many issues here. I think the law minister thinks that he is saying, I believe he is saying that I don't like this system. Many people don't like this system. Many judges also don't like the system. However, to say that this is opaque is not the answer. So I think that there's a vocabulary issue here. If you don't like it, you should say I don't like it. There is a better way and you should suggest a better way.
So this was Mr. Salman Khurshid was speaking to us over what Kiren Rijiju has said in an exclusive interview to CNN News 18. I'm Ananya Bhatnagar with video journalist Ramesh for CNN.